Give me 1 minute.
They sell two-person boats, and she, freshman, it's area to it. Her partner on her boat is a Olympics this summer for sailing. I mean, I'm just like, I don't even know where to look on this. The parents make fun.
Do you have a paper?
Morning.
Welcome to the June version of the meeting of the Norfolk Redevelopment and Housing Authority Board of Commissioners. Thank all of the guests for attending this morning, and as we move forward, please know that we consider you a valuable part of our city dynamic and also the dynamic that makes up the Norfolk Redevelopment and Housing Authority partnership. I will begin by saying that our main agenda is not very long, but we do have a fairly robust agenda this morning. So I would ask the commissioners to, those of you that make remarks, try to maybe keep them to a minimum until we get through this agenda and don't have to be held too long. I don't want to defer any important comments or thoughts you have, so don't feel like I'm discouraging that. I just wanted you to be mindful of where we are this morning. I'll begin now and ask the board if we can get an approval of the minutes this morning. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Properly moved in second. Ms. Carnes, will you call the roll?
Yes, sir. Mr. Fraley?
Aye.
Mr. Lewis?
Aye.
Dr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Casagrande?
Aye.
Mr. Conyers?
Aye.
Mr. Albert?
Aye. Next item is public comments. And who do we have that is in our presence this morning that has signed up to speak publicly? Anyone?
Morning, Commissioners. We have two in-person speakers at this time. The first is Tiara Lassiter with a topic to address affordable housing concerns, immediately followed by Raytron White, topic to address Grandy Village.
Hello, Tiara. You know you have 3 minutes, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. You always remark right in your time frame. So
Good morning, Commissioners. I have a few questions. Number one, when will housing be rebuilt on the previous Tidewater Gardens land, minus the newly built redevelopments that we have now? The second question is, what plans does NRHA have regarding affordable housing creation? How many units/homes to come? Number 3, when will the transformation of Calvert Square and Young Terrence occur? Here's a fact. Norfolk has been in a nationalized housing crisis since 2016 and remained number 6 on the top evicting cities list, according to evictionlab.org. According to www.citywork.io.com, for every 100 households making 50% or less, there are only 43 affordable units available to rent. Everyone would be competing for just 43 units. Even worse, for every 100 households making 30% less the average median income, roughly $35,000 a year, there are only 26 affordable units. In regards to Norfolk, the housing shortage tends to affect lower income renters. Here's a fact. Hampton Roads has 744 132 housing units with 5.9% vacancy. That translates to around 44 empty units, private rental. My main concern is affordable housing availability. The reality is the main strategy to eradicate the low-income housing shortage is to create mass affordable housing units for the low-income population. As a former Tidewater Gardens resident, there were 618 units, bedroom size 1 through 8. 305 households received housing choice vouchers or Section 8. 207 households relocated to other public housing units or project-based vouchers. 102 households were evicted, deceased, moved without notice, rented elsewhere, or purchased a home, according to citywork.com. 481 households that relocated in Norfolk. Simply stated, we, the low-income population, need at least 50,000 more units of affordable housing in the Hampton Roads region. However, I'm aware that Norfolk is 98% developed, and in order for us to meet this mark, we must tear down so that we can build up. We must all work together collectively. In order for us poor, oppressed people to become a part of a society that is meaningful, the system under which we now exist has to be radically changed. And the people to assist us with this change, making progressive changes regarding our housing, are our leaders and decision makers, which is every person in this room. Every person in this room can make some type of a decision to help us with legislation, could help us to create more housing. Every person in this room could help us fight on a state or even a nationalized level regarding our housing given the administration. Every person in this room hopefully is a voter. So we need you to help and assist us with this housing crisis matter that has been going on pretty much well over a decade. So thank you for this time. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right on the bell.
Nailed it.
Good morning.
Good. Just want to take my 3 minutes and use it to the max. It's called communication. It's called communication. It's called communication. Thank Mr. Sims for coming out to see me last week to my office, and some things that we discussed in my office. Now, hopefully, we just didn't discuss it as to be talking. Commissioners, this is a communication problem. Commissioners, there's a communication problem. There are some neighborhoods that have stuff for the kids for the summer, meaning eating, how to eat for the summer. We all know that when we were young, we had summer programs. Grandy has nothing. Grandy has nothing. And there's some activities I talked to Mr. Sims about doing, even in our beautiful learning center that everybody else can use. We can utilize that too. There's about 50% of the kids does not go to the Boys and Girls Club. They can't get in there. They're doing projects, and there's things that we have kids that's 5 years old, 4 years old. They in the house or they're outside late at night. There's nothing to do. There's no programs for the summer. We need to do something. We need to do something. Communication. Communication is the problem, because no one's communicating with us, but it can communicate with everybody else. That's partnerships and all that stuff with them, but not the TMCs. And there's one suggestion I would like to say to Mr. Albert. There was a comment that you said that you're having a new majority helping us out. Can you come with the TMC first to have you help with this thing you're going around to different neighborhoods? Because we seem like we're not a part of nothing anymore. You're asking partners to help. The community we are the community. So if you want the agenda with new majority, come and have a meeting with us as well, and ask us to, when we put the meeting together, that we'll be a part of that meeting as well. Thank you all, and it's hot.
All right, thank you, Ray Tron.
Thank you.
Mr. Commissioner, we have unadjusted Bennett is online
All right,
in the chat. Mr. Bennett, you can unmute here.
Hello, can y'all hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can.
We can. All right. Hey, good morning, everybody.
good morning.
Good morning.
I have a question concern. Before I begin, this is not directed towards Leah. She's been doing a great job as far as getting the information out for residents, as I'm able to relay to residents certain things. So I've been doing some digging and researching lately. So to a backstory, I had two of my sons out Calvert Square. And, I was just going around, talking to residents, et cetera, because they was curious about what I do. So it was a lot of males I was talking to out there. Long story short, I've been looking for information about the African American Male Forum that you guys have or had, or I don't know what's going on with that. The only thing I've been hearing in the city about something of that sort is the Iron Sharpens Iron with JP, but nothing else about that. So I did some I was Googling things, nothing came up. I went on you guys' website, nothing came up. I'm on y'all website right now, and I'm looking at the client services. Y'all do have a great thing with the DMV program, sort of the driving thing, but I see nothing about the African American Male Forum, because we need guidance for male youth. They are the future. They are ones who are actually controlling the neighborhood. So we get through with them, we'll have better communities. But look, there's a list of client services, like literally right now I'm looking at it. I see community centers, education, employment, family self-sufficiency, senior disabled youth, NRHA Thriving Families Program, which is something that's relatively new with United Way. So if that is up there, something that is very new, why isn't the African American Male Forum or a list of that or something of that nature up there? I'm trying to find out how we can do more to help some of these young brothers out, but y'all literally don't have the services up here. But I keep hearing that y'all have these services, but I don't see them anywhere. So if I can get some information on that and we can try to get that ball rolling, or if y'all not doing any no more, please let us know. Thank you.
Thank you. And do we have any other speaker this morning? Public? All right, we will proceed with our agenda as written. We'll begin on the new business, and this would be a resolution accepting the 2025 Capital Fund Program Grant and approving the 2025 Capital Fund Annual Statement and 5-year plan. Steve Morales, I think, will make that presentation.
Back in March, we came before we had a public hearing before the board for the capital fund plan. We did not have the absolute final numbers at that point in time, so we did not move forward last month with the budget to get the approval when, as we were waiting on HUD's final numbers. So we've just received those final numbers, so we've come before the board now. The $10,469,647 are the capital funds that HUD is providing for us this year. We have 2 years to obligate, 4 years to expend. Those funds are generally used for capital improvements to our public housing communities. They are also used for support of the administrative work around that, and also in support of our client services in our operations. So we've provided in the packet the spread between the different communities and the uses. We've also, I think, provided in the packet our forecast for the coming years. We have hit our peak with these fundings based on all of our work. With the demolition of Tidewater and the RAD conversions, we'll begin to see a trail off of capital funds in the coming years. So we've crested the hill and we'll begin a slight downward beginning over the next few years. If Congress continues to fund as they have been funding over the past 10 years. So that's it.
Thank you, sir. And we have the resolution. Trying to find what page it's on. You have the resolution with you?
I do.
Would you read?
17, 18.
17 and 18. I'm sorry. Thank you. We have it, and we're gonna take time to read the resolution, pages 17 and 18. Dr. Smith located it, Steve, and then we will ask for a vote. We had this resolution. We didn't have the full resolution last month. Has everybody had time yet? Still, I mean, anybody still digesting the resolution? Okay, I will ask for a motion.
So moved. Second.
Properly moved and second that we approve the resolution. Ms. Carnes, call the roll, please.
Mr. Fraley?
Aye.
Mr. Lewis?
Aye.
Dr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Casagrande?
Aye.
Ms. Mayo? Mr. Miller? Mr. Conyers?
Aye.
Mr. Albert?
Aye. All right, thank you, Steve. We got Broad Creek now.
I do.
Section 18 disposition.
So the second item, we've been, long history, you guys have been there with us the whole time. Since 2020, we've been working on the conversion of Broad Creek to project-based voucher through the Section 18 disposition process. The board has acted before on authorizing Section 18 disposition. We did submit in 22. HUD declined that as of December of last year in 24 on a technicality based on the ownership. They also strongly suggested we go into the RAD program and had made changes to the RAD program such that it became financially feasible for the project to move that direction. So TCB and NRHA have moved to reconfigure the property on that basis. We came before the board in March for the RAD Section 18 approvals, the sort of the RAD component. So now we are back before the board specifically just for the Section 18 disposition resolution. So this would authorize NRHA to continue to proceed with the RAD office on a RAD conversion / Section 18 disposition for the property. The overall goal for all of this is so that we can go for tax credit, or TCB will be going for tax credits, and that we will be doing a comprehensive renovation of the Broad Creek community.
Thank you, sir. I look forward to that.
Mr. Chairman, can I just say the development arm of the oversight has also provided the Finance Committee with the details of this, and we've reviewed this, and we would support going this resolution.
You hear that? It's good. Good comment. Good comment. All right, so we need to approve this resolution this morning.
Yes, we do.
Okay. Can I get a vote?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Second. Properly moved and second. Ms. Carnes?
Yes, sir. Mr. Fraley?
Aye.
Mr. Lewis?
Aye.
Dr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Casagrande?
Aye.
Ms. Mayo? Mr. Miller? Mr. Conyers?
Aye.
Mr. Albert?
Aye, and for everybody in attendance here, please excuse my jagged facilitating this morning. I'm trying to reconcile. I'm trying to pull my package up, my board packet, and I can't get it. And so I'm using a borrowed agenda sheet, but I don't see the things that you all see on your packet because I can't pull it up. But be that as it may, we will start now. Our executive director will give comments.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Happy June. And so I wanted to go through a list of things that we have going on here. First, I'd like to start out by recognizing Michael Clark. So for folks who do not know, Michael Clark retired 2 weeks ago. After 30, no, not of course not. I'll tell you why in a second of where he is. Right. But after 39 years and 8 months on the job, Mike has decided to have a good rest, but he's still going to remain active in a lot of things that we do. I texted him this morning because I meant to text him last week to see how the first week was going. Reminded him that the board meeting was happening today, and so he does not miss that, by the way. But he actually. But he actually texted me a photo from the beach this morning and the sunrise on the beach. So
get out of here.
Yeah, well, I guess retirement is going well. But I want to thank Mike for his years in dedication and service to this organization. He shaped it in a lot of different ways. He's formulated a lot of relationships within and outside of this organization, and so he will be deeply missed. Next thing I want to talk about is Yardi. You've heard us talk about Yardi a whole bunch of times over the last year, and now we're getting to the point where it is actually live. And so I'm very much excited about that. I think there's a lot of work that has gone into this by IT from the program areas, the support areas. Everybody has been involved with this every single day. It seems like every single day. And so this room has remained very active in terms of meetings and training around that. And so we're pretty much excited about that. It's just the beginning of the implementation. We still have a little bit more to go, but we're gearing up for our first check run by the end of the month. So that's pretty good. In addition to that, as we talked about before, it's about conducting business a little bit differently and trying to automate the processes where we can. And so one example of that is the availability of Rent Cafe, which allows a lot of different things for the user, for the landlord. And so whether it is posting your unit online to say that it is available, to checking your ledger, to making your, whatever payments you need to make or different things like that. I mean, it's there for that use. And so we're excited in terms of continuing to roll that out. We have supports ready both at the staff level. Client services staff have been trained to go into communities and help. I think we've volunteered to work with our seniors and others to make it happen. So we're excited about that. Property management is working on an open house strategy for both Young Terrace and Grandy Village. And so if you recall, we've done this before some time ago, but we're going to take it to another scale around that to increase occupancy across our portfolio. So that is a pretty big deal. As many of you know, last week we had a master developer presentation for Young Terrace and Calvert Square that was over at Slover Library. And so 3 different teams made their presentation. I want to thank all that were able to attend all day. Folks at Legal Aid were pretty much there all day. Teams with a purpose there all day. Even though he's not here today, Trevor from the pilot, which is the only shout out he's going to get from me from this podium, he was there. He was there. We're thinking about you, Trevor. And so, so he was there, and our city counterparts obviously working together with the authority staff to really have a good presentation. So we've shortlisted 3 firms as part of the solicitation process: Gilbane, which is out of Rhode Island, NHP Foundation out of New York, and Paces Preservation, which is out of Smyrna, Georgia. All 3 gave their expertise. We're beginning now to go through the interview phase, in which is a combination of both NRHA and city staff. And so we're 2/3 of the way through that. The second group was interviewed just on Tuesday? Yeah, yesterday. And the final group will be interviewed next week with the goal of getting a master developer selected by month end. So for those who are seeking information, and for those who don't think information is available, go to our website, go to our YouTube channel, go to our various media outlets, because we have listed, we recorded the presentations by all 3 developers. We have put them on multiple places. We certainly will continue to kind of share that process with everyone, with the goal of, again, July 14th through the 17th, having a charrette with the selected developer over that 4-day period with residents, constituents, those in the community. HomeNet. I want to congratulate the HomeNet team. Even though we only have a couple of weeks left in FY 2025, they closed a total of 59 loans, and so that's pretty significant. They're only down to a little bit, which is $6,400, but they have a number of individuals who are under contract, 8 currently at this time, and we hope to close on those at the beginning of the fiscal year. This is I want to highlight the homeownership event that we have next Saturday with a variety of partners. It'll be at Norfolk State University, and so that involves the city. Councilman Clanton has been very much involved in that process as well, and so we look forward to making that a success. RFPs, we have an RFP that closed for lots in Ballantyne, Broad Creek, and Willoughby that closed on the 30th, May 30th, and so the team is working actively to have awards by the end of June. I want to thank the Rotary Club of Norfolk for the opportunity to present the other day. I'm going to say this just because Leah is there, and so I don't know if she recorded it or not, but they made us sing for our lunch, and no, literally. So, but it was cool to give a presentation. As a matter of fact, I ran into someone this morning in Yorgos that walked past, and she said, "Were you the guy that gave the presentation on Tuesday?" And I was like, "Yes," and so she enjoyed that. We enjoyed ourselves. It was good to interact with folks and just talk about what we're doing and what we're working on, and people and how our work connects to Norfolk as a whole. Finally, I want to thank our partners at Norfolk CSAP, Hampton Roads Transit, and Hampton Roads Workforce Council. We had 2 back-to-back meetings last week, which were really solid in terms of workforce. And so the one thing I want everybody to kind of remember, if we're talking housing, we're talking workforce, and if we're talking workforce, we're talking about housing. You cannot really separate the two. And so you can think about that. I'll test you on it next month, but that's a real deal. And so those collaborations, that degree of conversation and thoughtfulness really is something that will help individuals in terms of workforce opportunities, but also the flip side, workforce and transportation, really opportunities, and also housing opportunities for individuals who engage in that. And so with that, I'll take any questions.
Anybody? Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Executive Director, we appreciate all that you're doing.
Thank you.
We have client services now with Dr. Julius Norman.
Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'll keep the same thing as Executive Director of Workforce Housing, Workforce Housing, Workforce Housing, Workforce Housing, and Mental Health. Throughout our communities and commissioners, you'll see each month we give a report. And
is closing the gaps. The data shows that many people that are access limited or resource limited have difficulties getting to mental health appointments and services and things like that. So what we're able to do is be in the community through this partnership. So we're able to reduce many of those barriers. We're able to allow them access to care and to treatment. Sometimes low-income families may not have transportations to even get to those certain appointments. They may also just have mistrust towards mental health providers. So by being in the community, we have the opportunity to kind of reduce those barriers and kind of close in on the gaps. It also makes it more accessible for them to be able to access the services. And then we also provide educational programs and services to kind of either whether it's psychoeducation to kind of help them understand some of the symptoms, the community to understand the symptoms that people are experiencing or young people are experiencing, or to either help the young person themselves understand some of what they're experiencing. We provide workshops and trainings, and we ultimately try to create a safe space to where individual comes into services and they are feeling safe enough to share whatever it is that they may be going through or happening within their community. We also encourage physical activities. A lot of times, people have different opinions about pharmaceutical medications. So we go back to the basics of just getting them up and active. We do different activities also with the seniors, such as karaoke and getting them to kind of dancing around and kind of just getting some actual movement and hopefully boosting the serotonin levels that also causes mood disorders and things of that nature. We also working with Mr. Norman here with youth empowerment through like sports and doing different things like that. We want to get more involved with that. We know that that's one of his initiatives that he's going to be kicking off. And we want to be able to support that as well. Community connection and belonging, that's the goal, is that we're getting the people connected to the community and feeling a sense of belonging, because we know from Maslow's hierarchy of needs that a sense of belonging is super important in order for young people to develop. And also we respond to crisis within the community. So if there's something that comes up and we get a phone call, we go there to try to help stabilize the community or stabilize the individuals or the families that may have experienced some level of trauma or some type of crisis that may have happened in the community that may be causing an issue or something along those lines. That hopefully what the research and the data shows is that if we can get there and respond within a certain amount of time, we can reduce some of the symptoms of PTSD by getting there and being able to respond a little quicker and helping normalize the situation that may be occurring within the community. So we really do appreciate this partnership with the Housing Authority and being able to close in on some of the gaps that low income and access limited people incur.
My question is this: is this a new relationship that we've cultivated, or is this something that is a relationship that's been in existence for some time?
Yes, this relationship has been in existence for at least the last 4 years. We've been partnered with the Housing Authority, so it's not new. It was relatively new, but 4 years.
In addition to that, Dr. Smith, that's why we expanded it. We had, during COVID and coming out of COVID, we had a lot of different incidents that was happening in the community. So at that point, that's where we engaged mental health professionals to be in each one of our communities to specifically, at that time, to address traumatic experiences, post-traumatic stress, or just situations during that time where people could come into what we call a safe space. And we had people available there to just be able to talk to them about different issues. So now we do have mental health professionals that actually respond or actually connected to each one of the communities, including the mid-risers.
Yeah, all healthcare is labor intensive. It's big, and especially mental health services, which are often one-on-one. How many people do you have supporting our communities?
So at our agency, we have about 7 that are kind of working in the actual community, and we're often looking for more. Again, there are different barriers to that to be able to get people that would like to come and work in those particular spaces. Most people are, wanting to be in offices and things of that nature. And so we offer mental health skills building, which requires you to go into the home. We offer intensive in-home with also actually to go into the home. So those levels of services are often difficult to find employees that would like to do that type of work. So we want to build.
This is house calls.
Yes, these are house calls, yes. And so that also reduces, though, the barriers for having them to leave. And hopefully when we're in those homes, we're able to, work with the family, and we can see differently. As a clinician myself, I prefer that level of service, to be able to see exactly what's happening. Because when you come into an office space, typically people are, they can clean up and do things differently, and that makes it difficult to be able to provide the intervention that's necessary.
Do you work in collaboration with the resident services specialists in the community, and how is that coordination working out?
So I'm not that familiar with our relationship with them at this particular time, so I would have to get back with you on that.
Mr. Norman, you can address that.
Yes. Norm, in terms of client services, they work directly with them. And I'm glad you asked that question, because I'll give you a couple of examples how we're working. So when you're looking at the mental health perspective, don't always look at it from the perspective of a traumatic experience. how they're working with client services, that they're in the mid-rises and they may be doing activities that's set up by resident services specialists and client services specialists. He gave an example of karaoke, bingo, so they actually work with them and providing that service. Another service could be, we just recently had a Mother's Day event, and the guest speaker was not only mental health, but we even used our interagency collaboration where we had a speaker that came from property management that talked to women about and encouraged women about mental health, self-esteem, and some other things. Another example would be working with resident services specialists. We have dance programs that are offered to our seniors and our residents through interagency collaboration, where we had someone from property management who actually taught them dance and things like that. So we working in collaboration. And another one would be, an example would be our interagency collaboration, where we're talking now about youth empowerment through sports, which are happening tomorrow. Shameless plug. Youth empowerment through sports activity, which is tomorrow at the Southside STEM Academy, where we have Michael Vick. And those activities are encouraged and engaged by not only client services, resident services, but throughout our partnerships, throughout mental health, Norfolk State University, and other partners that will actually be working with young people and talking to them about mental health. But we're doing it through the perspective of using sports as that carrot. I think what
I'm trying to get at, Mr. Norman, is the importance of maybe case management and wraparound services, and that there is not a duplication of services, and more also to make certain that families are case managed, and we're understanding what's happening with the family dynamic across. Because when we began to delve into the family, there's some other deeper underlying issues. And I think when we're doing case management in a collaboration with mental health, all of that needs to be streamlined together. That's more what I'm getting at.
I understand what you're saying, but on our perspective, we're doing more awareness, information dissemination, and the reason why we provide additional mental health professionals in different areas, because our residents have the right to choose what mental health professional they'd like to go with. And once they do a deep dive or decide they want to go into services, we no longer have that information.
Does Mr. Eric Jones, though, does he do case management with you guys?
So at this particular time, we're not doing the case management piece of it. And I think what Mr. Norman was kind of speaking to was just giving people the options. And so I don't see it as a duplication of services, but I do also understand what you're saying, that we want to make sure that we're looking at the family unit as a whole. And unfortunately, at this time, Renaissance is not doing particular case management. We're kind of sticking to the mental health skills building, the intensive in-home substance abuse, and outpatient services. So we're not doing actual case management.
And one other thing, Commissioner, is that the case management for us is not on the mental health perspective, is that if they're referred to us for workforce development, FSS, or youth service programs, or community engagement, that case management comes from our resident services specialists, or actually our client services specialists that does the case management in which they were referred, or services that they requested. So it won't be on the side of clinical mental health, because that's not what we do. However, we will help you find a job. We will case manage you. We will help you get into any educational or other services that we provide.
Are the resident services specialists under you now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I have one. I hate to prolong this. I was going to hold my question, but Albert led me into it. How do you identify people who need mental health services?
So the way that we've been doing it, we're working with the schools, so we get referrals from the schools. We're in the schools that are close to the communities.
Schools, I mean, when they refer somebody, do they refer somebody that's been diagnosed with a particular disorder or something?
Oftentimes, the referral would come in with the symptoms, and then we would go to the school and try to coordinate.
They'll tell you how that person is presenting, how that child is.
Person may be behaving a certain way, and it may be they're not clear on what the reason for the behavior is. And so then that's when we come in and take a deeper look at it and provide a diagnosis and see if we can enroll and offer them services.
All right, so when you're in the community, as you say, and you're offering the services to the seniors, and you mentioned earlier impacting post-traumatic stress disorder, I believe. How do you identify some, I mean, is there, how, you know, does the housing managers, resident initiative people, how do you get people who have post-traumatic stress disorder?
So those are all different. So I have to separate the populations. The seniors, we do a different level of engagement. If we're at the facilities with the seniors, we're kind of sort of going door to door, and we're also listening to what the staff are saying about certain seniors. With the young people, again, we have to just go off the symptomology. We have to look at the behaviors and whether that comes from a resident manager, a teacher, a parent, or something along those lines. So we're open to all ways of accepting referrals and understanding what the young person is going through. Once we have the young person or the person in front of us, then we have clinicians available, myself and some of my colleagues, to be able to properly diagnose.
All right, thank you. I'm not going to prolong this. I have more questions, but we have a really robust agenda in the bottom half. So thank you, though, for your.
The last thing that I will say is that we have a program called Youth Rec Connect, and that program is in existence throughout the school year. So what that actually does is, especially even in the summer, that any of our kids that are in our communities, they can go to any rec center, any youth service provider for recreation and summer activities throughout. We've partnered with the Department of Norfolk Rec and Parks and Recreation Services, where there are pool services. The kids, we even assist them with transportation if we need to make sure they're able to go to an interaction, what we call a positive factor in their lives wherever they want to go. So we have kids that are signed up for the pools that are different areas, they're signed up for recreation centers, and they're signed up for a lot of different activities throughout the community. So please engage us. It's called Youth Rec Connect, and those kids can be engaged in any opportunity throughout. And also in our communities, we do contract additional services with youth service providers. Thank you.
Sure. All right, so we are at a point now where we have our board committee updates. No, I didn't meet with ours, but I'll start on this table. Earl, you and Phil with finance, have you all met?
We met, and much of what what we've been discussing will be further discussed in closed session.
Okay, all right. Will, you don't have a subcommittee, do you?
No, it's not. We'll talk about that after this meeting.
Okay. Adam?
He'll have not. I think he's going to be assigned to mine, so we'll talk about it.
All right. Elbert?
Yes, we've met with the Public Housing Committee with great advances. Looking forward to have a report for the board in the coming months. Also with the board that the subcommittee that you and I chair.
Absolutely.
Those meetings have been very successful as well.
I agree. Okay.
Some of the people I see in the audience today that we usually meet online. It's good to see you guys. Yeah, Miss Kiara. Yeah, good to see you. Yeah, they're very good.
I didn't see her back there hiding. I didn't.
Yeah, she's back there. I see her in person. Good to see you.
Back the left hand at you.
Yeah,
Ms.
but thank you
Mayo?
very much.
Any committee meeting from you?
No.
All right. Mr. Conyers?
I think Nathan kind of spoke to what we met on in reference to the choosing of the developer coming up, and then Steve talked about some of the things that we have to be approved, the budget and things of that nature. So that's all we talked about in our meeting, you know, and more updates to come in the future.
Thank you. I have couple of flyers here. You all know I'm doing a little conversation / listening tour beginning on the 21st of June in Young's Terrace. And Leah has been working day and night to help me out. See, have some flyers to distribute in the community. I really would like for the commissioner to see. I think it was a job well done initially. I think until I talked to Aaliyah, I had all the commissioners up there. I said, no, them guys ain't going to the neighborhood with me. Anyway, you all know I wanted it to be my choice. And I just wanted to exchange information from the community, starting with the Youngs and then moving to the others. I think Raytron, I guess he felt like we neglected, but we didn't. We're moving to Grandy, and we're going to Calvert next, I think. Then Grandy and so forth and so on until we've covered all of the communities. We're starting with Youngs, though, and Youngs is the biggest property we have. And the thing that prompted my wanting to do this was a young man who spoke at our meeting. He had a lot of energy and fire about his feelings and emotions and thoughts about what we do. And it struck me that the board was so misunderstood. I'll say that because I know how committed that you all are in trying to bring the right service to our community, trying to do it so that people have a respected dignity and respect in their process. And I know that you all also are just people who work for a living and trying to do the right thing and committed to service. And so, one, I wanted to just kind of shut down thoughts about us being not caring about the community and, just coming here and going home and sending our kids to all the best colleges. I know some of you all wish that were true, but I'm going to get an earful from them too as well. And I know they have some thoughts about, and I want to hear it because, I think what will come out of this will be some great ideas about delivery of services. So if you get a chance when we move around on our break, come take a look at these. If you need to make a copy and carry it with you. And so with that, Ms. Carnes, we had our closed session point in the agenda. And I guess I'll read the resolution if you like.
I'm happy to do so. Did you want to skip commissioner comments? Are we folding that into the
Oh, yes,
committee
that's right.
updates?
I'm sorry. I thought we just did that, but we didn't. Okay, we do have commissioner comments, and some of you may have some comments or thoughts not related to your committee. And I will start with Will. Any specific comments you'd like to make this morning?
Mr. Chairman, up to that.
All right. Dr. Fraley?
Just like to add, from the Development Committee, and I don't think I'm speaking out of church, there's a design workshop scheduled from July 14 to 17 on Young and Calvert Square.
Amen.
By that time, we probably will have accepted a developer for
Sure.
those projects. So
Sure.
don't know how to, I guess Steve and the rest of the staff will work out the time frames, but those 3 days, the design should rather, or workshop, if you will, on Young and Calvert.
Absolutely.
I'm sure other information will be coming out.
That sounds good. Yeah. Phil?
No, Mr. Chairman, I don't have any other comments.
Thank you. Adam?
Not at this time, Mr. Chair.
All right. Back to you, Albert.
No comments.
All right. Elsie?
No comment.
All right. So now we're at the point of moving into our closed session.
Yes, sir. Resolution convening a closed meeting on June 12, 2025. Be it resolved that the authority will convene in a closed meeting pursuant to the Virginia Freedom of Information Act as amended, the Act, to discuss the following matters which are specifically exempted from public disclosure by the code section referred to below. Number 1, personnel matters involving the assignment, appointment, promotion, demotion, performance, salaries, or resignation of employees of the authority as authorized by Section 2.2-3711A1 of the Act. Number 2, discussion and consideration of the disposition of publicly held real property as authorized by Section 2.2-3711A3 of the Act. And number 3, consultation with the authority's legal counsel regarding actual or probable litigation and legal matters requiring the provision of legal advice by counsel as authorized by Section 2.2-3711A7 of the Act. May I have a motion, please?
Make a motion that we move forward with the closed session.
A
Second that.
Thank you.
All right.
Mr.
Properly moved and
Fraley? Mr. Lewis?
Aye.
Dr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Casagrande?
Aye.
Ms. Mayo? Mr. Miller?
Aye.
Mr. Conyers? Mr. Albert?
Aye. Okay, we're in, take a 4 or 5 minute break. Chair now, aren't you? Yes. And, well, anyway, thank you for coming to our meeting this morning.
You're welcome.
We just wanted to recognize you and love on you while you're here and help you in any way we can.
Thank you.
All right?
I appreciate that.
Thank you, dear.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right. You come to show me that ring, don't you?
I'm just coming to say hello. But you can see it if you want.